Yes.
We talk a lot about law enforcement and how much respect we have for all of you. One of the things I don't think we talk enough about is the influence that you can have on somebody's life. And Lacey, this is actually why you're here today.
Did you just trick me?
Maybe a little bit. What we'd like you to do now, I'm just going to step back and sit in that seat and face the computer if you could, and just take the mouse and click on that arrow.
There you go.
Hey, it's Pat, Tom, and Cody, and welcome to Talk to the Badge. And today we're going to talk about law enforcement and how they can have a very positive influence in your life. Our special guest is Sheree.
Thanks for being here.
And Sheree, the reason you're here is, let's just be honest, you were incarcerated.
Yeah.
Give us your story.
So I first was incarcerated in 2012. I had been to jail every year since then, from 2012 to 2017. In 2016, I was at RCCC in Elk Grove.
Which is Rio Cosumnes?
Rio Cosumnes Correctional Center.
Okay.
So I was out there, and I was out there for 90 days, and there was an officer out there, Officer Nelsen. She was always very personable. She would, she didn't talk to you like you were just another inmate, like you were a number. She actually made you feel like a person. She made time whenever she could. You hardly ever seen her with, out a smile on her face or talking to somebody and joking around. She wasn't, the hardline cop. She made you feel like a person. She shared a little about herself. That I believe she said she grew up in Oak Park. And she would, if you needed anything, she was there. You could go to her for anything. She made you feel human. She didn't make you feel just like another inmate, like another criminal, anything like that. So I got out, and I did end up going back. In 2017, I went back. She was not there. I asked. First person I asked for was her. But she wasn't there. She was actually back on the street. So I didn't see her then. But
so you asked about her when you went back?
I asked one of the officers if she was there. And they were like, no, she doesn't work here anymore. She's out on the street. And I was like, oh, man.
She made that much of an impact.
Right. I was like, dang it. All right. So this time when I got arrested in 2017, they had enough of my crap. So they sentenced me to a 3-year county jail prison term, which basically is a prison prior on your record, but at county level. Which is a felony. I was supposed to do 1 year in, 2 years out on probation. 90 days in, I went back to court and asked to go to a program, and I did that, and they released me to Grace House, which is a discipleship home in Carmichael. I went there. I had to do 9 months. I stayed for 19. I graduated. I moved out in 2018. I just came up on 3 years clean. January 17th, or 14th,
wow.
January 14th. In the midst of my addiction, I'll call it, because of what it is. Mm-hmm. I lost everything. My kids, my family. I was homeless. Wrong people I was hanging around. I had nothing. In that time span, I work full time. I have a great relationship with all 3 of my kids, including my oldest 2 kids, his dad and his wife. My youngest daughter lives with me now. I have a relationship with my dad, my whole family. I've gotten my life back. And ever since 2016, her words resonated with me. Like, you don't have to be a product of you don't have to be a statistic. You don't have to be a product of your environment or what you subject yourself to. Like, you can flip that all the way around. Right. And you can use what you went through for good. Like, you don't have to be that statistic. You don't have to be a product of what you put yourself through or your environment or however you were raised. You can turn all that around for the positive. So that's always stuck with me. And I always keep seeing stuff about her online. I was like, I love her. She doesn't even know, but I love her. Like, I love her.
So she doesn't even know. You haven't had a chance to tell her how you feel.
I've seen, so I follow Sac Sheriff on my Instagram and on Facebook, and I see all kinds of stuff that she does in the community. And every time I see it, I'm like, I love her. Like, she has no idea. Like, I love her. And I would wait to because I know she was working the North Patrol out at Carmichael, Foothill Farms type area. Mm-hmm. And that's where my program was at. So we would go to the Dutch Brothers all the time on Auburn Boulevard, and she used to always go over there, and I'm like, I wonder if I'm going to run into her, and I'd never seen her, but I never seen her. And then, I would be there, and then I would just miss her because they would do something with, the kids there or something, and it would be, right after I left, and I'm like, dang it, I just missed her.
But we found out about your story because you actually took the time to sit down and write the Sheriff's Department about her and the experience that you had.
Right.
And tell us a little bit about that.
So it was back in November, I want to say. There was some community event that she did. I think it was with kids or something. I don't remember exactly. And, you know, they posted pictures of, like, the events that they do and stuff like that, the officer involved. And there was a picture of her. And I had commented, I was like, oh, my God, I love her. And, you know, just kind of went into it. And I was like, she doesn't even know it, but she played a big part of, you know, helping me. And, you know, just by being her, by being kind, by being a person and a human and treating me human, it helped me. I mean, yeah, I did go back one more time, and it is what it is, but she doesn't know that her words then resonated with me, even though I did go back, you know, and I did want to do something different. So I commented on that, and then here we are.
Without Officer Nelsen in your life, had you not run into her, where do you think you'd be today?
It's kind of hard to say, you know. I kind of feel like you go through things in life like this for me, and we're always looking for that one person that is going to make you feel human. It's not going to, you know, make you feel like you're just a statistic, or you're just some criminal, or you're just some this, or just some that, who's going to give you some type of ray of hope. And law enforcement doesn't get that at all. I feel like it's very few and far between that they're actually recognized for the work that they do. And I don't know if I would have met her or known of her, I wouldn't have taken anything positive from my experiences being at the jail. Because it's not a positive place. I mean, it's horrible, you know, but we do put ourselves there. I wouldn't have had that one thing to clinch onto, you know, to just take with me.
It sounds like she wasn't only encouraging, she gave you food for thought.
Right.
And it's things that you could really kind of turn over in your head that eventually helped you turn over a new life.
Right. I remember one time she said, you know, you don't have to be here. When we were, you know, I was talking to her about something. It was like in a short conversation. I don't remember what it was. I think I said, I hate it here. She's like, you know, you don't have to be here. You know, this is up to you. And she just kept walking, and I was like, oh, she's right.
That resonated with me, and I've never even been.
Yeah, she's like, oh, yeah. I was like, oh, you're right.
Was she that way with other inmates too?
She was. She was always like that. Like, everybody loved her. Like, if she was on shift, it was, oh, Nelson's here. You know, everybody got all excited because she was here. And the one thing we knew not to do was ask her for a bunk move if she was busy. Because she would literally come in the dorm and don't ask me to move bunks. I am too busy. She's always because everybody would go to her for that because they knew that she would, you know,
probably say yes.
She would, and 90% of the time she did. But,
so you haven't told her. She doesn't know.
Wow.
Have you tried like reaching out, maybe arranging a coffee or something? Has that occurred to you?
No, I just left it as the community thing. It was on Instagram. I left the comment, and then, you know, I got a message back and asked me to send over an email of, you know, how she impacted me, and I did, and here we are. So.
Wow.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So your big reward was meeting 3 radio DJs.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, pretty much. And I got a couple hours off of work, so, you know.
Well, there you go. There's that.
Yeah, there's that.
Well, we appreciate you sharing your story. And, you know, my partner here has a great saying that I've taken to heart the first time he said it years and years ago, and it's
Stay out of jail.
It's, well, there's that.
Other than that.
But it's not the mistake, it's how you fix it.
Right. It's all in, you know, you don't have to. I just hope that if me saying, you know, doing this, somebody will hear it and they'll know that they're not alone. Like, you don't have to do this alone. There's a lot of people who are stuck in their addiction, whether it be to drugs, to alcohol, to, you know, there's homelessness that's going on. There's all these different things that are going on, and people feel stuck and they feel like they don't have anybody, and they don't have anybody that understands, and they feel alone. And that's why a lot of people choose not to get into recovery, and they choose to stay homeless, and because they feel alone. But if one person can feel like they're not alone.
I think one of the biggest compliments you could get in your life, be it personal or what you do for a living, and it sounds like Officer Nelsen is in the perfect job for her personality, is to have somebody hear your message and then carry that out to other people.
Right.
And it sounds that's what you're doing.
And that's part of recovery, actually, is carrying the message to the addict who still suffers. It's part of the recovery groups and the meetings is to do that. So that's, you know. And she was that person for me. I didn't feel alone. You know, I didn't feel like I was just some number on a wristband.
Well, Sheree, thank you for sharing your story. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we are.
Thank you.
Appreciate it very much.
Thank you. That's beautiful. Is that great? Thank you. Of course. Of course. That's beautiful. I appreciate that.
And when you see that and hear it and it makes it more real, how does it make you feel?
Like I'm doing the right stuff.
When she talks about you making a connection, not just with her, but with other inmates, where does that come from?
I grew up poor, you know. Addiction runs in my family. My grandmother died from alcoholism. She always told my mom and mom's siblings, I will die from alcoholism someday. So, and she did. And so, you know, just because I tell people, just because I have this fancy uniform on, it doesn't mean that it came for free. You know, so, like I told her, you don't have to be here. You're here because you chose to be here. Everything that we do is our choice. So, you know, all those, they're people, you know. Obviously, I feel different about different crimes, you know, as we all do. But folks on drugs who are making choices based on addiction, always sure to talk to them. Because it could have been me. The neighborhood I grew up in, my friends died or went to prison. It could have been me. It was just a choice I made, you know, barely sometimes. So, I'm so glad she cleaned up. That's my hope. You know, that's my hope for them to clean up. She's got kids. And so now what do they get to see? That there is hope. And they may not end up on the criminal side now. So we may have saved lives.
Break the cycle.
Yeah. Breaking the cycle.
You done good?
Thanks. Yeah. It means a lot. You gotta do this.
Do you get feedback like this much?
I don't. No, and I don't need it. You know, because we're doing good work here. All of us, you know. Teaming up with Bonneville, with Joe's connection with Chad, and this is, you know, on a bigger scale than what I've always wanted to do, you know, because we can affect one person or a few people, but if we can affect the masses and build this gap together, then we're making a change, you know. If we can save one person from killing a cop, or one person from hurting somebody, or one person from killing themselves, you know, then we've done our job.
That is such a rewarding job. I mean, we play music and try to do things that are entertaining in between the songs, and once in a while we'll hear from somebody that was funny, or I like what you said there. You changed somebody's life.
Thanks. Thank you.
I think we've got one more kind of thing that we want to present to you.
Thank you.
If you don't mind.
Yes.
Um,
Hi, I'm so right. Thank you. I'm so proud. Thank you. You're exactly what you're supposed to do. Thank you for allowing us. This is great. I didn't think it was going to blow up like that. Like, I just wanted to comment on Instagram. It was great. And then it just kind of went off from there. I'm so proud. Thank you. The kids are proud of you.
Sac County Sheriff's Office. Here's Lacey and Sheree.
Hello,
you guys,
lady.
Hello.
You guys finally meet up after
Yeah.
you not only saw the video, you read her email.
Yeah,
So.
beautiful. Truly humbling, and I'm honored to be here with you and finally see you again in street clothes. You look great. You look clean.
Yeah.
You know, I'm very humbled by you reaching out like this to meet me again, and thank you.
Thank you.
For sure.
Thank you.
Sheree, one of the things initially that you talked about is how now that you've got your life back on track and things look good, that you're working, you didn't really get to your kids. Are you back with your kids?
I am. My youngest child actually was living in Oregon with her dad. I picked her up over the summer, and I brought her back down here to live with me. So I actually have her. My older two kids were it was tougher with them just because they were older, you know. My son, not so much. He's always been a mama's boy. You know, he's 15. He's still a mama's boy. But my oldest daughter, she's 17, and it took a long time for her to come around. She wouldn't talk to me for the first year I was clean.
Wow.
Still, she would see me, and she wouldn't even bat an eyelash my direction. Like, she still wanted nothing to do with me. She's actually at home right now, probably just waking up in my bed. So, you know, there's that. So, yeah, she's getting ready to transition into living with me.
how is she now?
Now it's, you know, everybody makes mistakes, and you're better now, and you're not the same person you were, and, you know, she loves her mom, so, yeah. They're
That's
pretty
all
proud.
we could ask for.
Yeah.
You know.
See what you did?
Thanks.
All just by being her.
Thank you.
Being nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Pleasure to talk to both you
Yes.
ladies. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And you're amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate it very much. And Sheree and I were talking that I think we're going to do some speaking stuff together, right? Get out in the community and hopefully change some lives together.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
give back, like you said, give back. That's all we can ask for is, you know, help people get back on the right track.
Yep, exactly.
Perfect.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you both, and I think that's a perfect idea. I hope that comes to fruition.
Me too. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more episodes of Talk with the Badge.